G'day guys and welcome back to the JFBS SuperCoach channel. And today what we're going to go through is the midweek convo for AFL SuperCoach. If you haven't checked out the last week's one, I mean, it's probably too late to check it out now, but you've probably got no idea what goes on. We'll be talking about some of the topics that I'd love to talk about in the review or preview videos, but thought I'd make a whole video separate to it just to dedicate some of those key things everyone likes to talk about. We talk about most trade in and outs. We've got injuries, break evens, who I'm looking at, and captains as well. Who I'm looking at, I mean, I can go over briefly because you do your trades at first. That's probably what I'm doing just to keep it very what's the word? So I'm very honest with you guys of what I'm doing, like just as the week goes by, what's changing. But we'll get to that in a tick. I did put a poll up on my Twitter for my trade-ins and outs. So, without further ado, let's do the most traded ins and outs of the week. So, here we are. Everyone knows these top 1 to 4 of Connor Rozee, Christian Petrarca, Dyson Sharp, and Hayden Young are all out due to injury. Connor Rozee, apparently, it's like one of the worst hamstring injuries you can get. Basically, the tendons have just been ripped off the bone, which is horrible. So he's out for 3 months. He's getting surgery. He's done so. Seems like he's not coming back for 3 or 4 months. So that's a very long time. In some ways, for SuperCoach, it's interesting because now we get different teams. Who are people prioritizing over who else? Like, are people bringing in a Dan Houston? I'm bringing in a Primo that's a little bit more expensive than him and doesn't have a buy round until round, I think it's 16. So playing a lot of games for me there. Christian Petrarca, 570k. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks, so best to get rid of him. I mentioned it on last night, saying that it's annoying because it would be better if it was his second game because of that price rise. We don't get his price rise. He went up 47k, and that's kind of annoying because it's a lot easier. Like, you're saving 47k to upgrade him to upgrading him before he makes his money. I don't know if that makes sense, but now we're 47k behind to get him when he comes back. So that's going to be really annoying. His break even might be high, 91. Okay, the projected score isn't working, but that's okay. So he could maybe go down a bit of money, like 550 is what I'm thinking, and then we could probably pounce on him. Dyson Sharp did his ankle. I searched it up before. I think this was last night. Is this what I want to look at? Going on Twitter. So still sidelined short term. Cool. Thank you, Owen. All right. Don't need to see Jalen Johnson and what he's doing. Cool. So probably time. I would get rid of him too. His break even's like not even that good. 15. He's been averaging 40. It's not that great. Hayden Young's interesting because we found out that he was injured before last week, so we did have time to get rid of him. I think if you haven't got rid of him yet, there's no point because if you've got Rozee and Petrarca, which the most owned forward and back in the game, and Dyson Sharp, who's one of the most owned rookies in the game. I mean, are you going to leave one of these two out to get rid of Young? It doesn't make sense unless you don't have one of these 3 players, and that's fine. But at the same time, I think he's coming back either this week or next week. It was only a really small hamstring strain or awareness, so only out for the one game. I think he's fine. I wouldn't worry too much. Leo Lombard, 153k. I mentioned this yesterday as well. He just looks so undisciplined out there, and it's hard. It's annoying to watch. He could get dropped the way he's playing. He's got a 13 break even, hasn't been making that much money. I'd be surprised if he gets to 200k before we consider getting rid of him. But it's an interesting watch. I mean, it just goes to show only 2.1% of people are getting rid of him. That 2.1% probably don't have a Sharp, Petrarca, or Rosie. I think like 90% of the competition will be getting rid of these three. Josh Lindsay, it makes sense, but once again, same with Hayden Young. You should have done it last week. Now that where there's players that have copped an injury, and now you're going to prioritise them because Lindsay might play this week, but far out. I think we need to be a bit more alert when it comes to these injuries. And I understand people have lives out there and doing their thing, but far out. Got to get onto it when you first hear it. Tom de Koning, 1.7% are trading him out. With all due respect, and a lot of people have been saying this, I don't know why you've had him in the first place. 96 against Collingwood, 89 against Melbourne, and a 45 against GWS. They've got their bye in round 4. Expect to lose another 30k. I reckon he get down to about. He could probably get down to like mid 400s. So look, probably not the smartest thing. Errol Gordon. I mean, if you forgot to trade him last week, you're even more stuffed this week because you're trading out 3 primos with Connor, Rosie, and Petrarca. But geez, like I said with the Coding and Lindsay, got to pay attention once it all opens up. Caleb Windsor and Lockie Blackiston. It makes sense if you're trading them out. Obviously, they're not doing enough for you. 70 and 53 is so underwhelming. And then Blackiston's like 260s. And he's going up against Cherry, which is like he will get killed. Like he gave up 120 to Jordan Sweet. What do you reckon Cherry's going to score? I mean, I've got Blackiston, but if this week plays out normally and there's no significant injuries, he's off the team. He'll get to about 300k because he'll score around his 60, and he's 6.6, just over 300k. So hopefully he gets turned into a rookie potentially. Most traded in. Now, if I did this last night, I'd have been like, yep, let's get him in. Milan Murdoch has also done his hamstring. Yeah. Very, very, very annoying. Because he was the guy to bring in. He might miss a week or two, it seems. So we've got to make sure we've got to know when he comes back because he's played some really good footy over the first 2 weeks of his career. We've got to make sure we know when he's coming back because we cannot miss this first price rise. I traded him in last night, but I've swapped him to someone else. Jeez, 87k. If he gets an 80, what would that score be? Okay, the projected score's not working again. That's okay. But yes, if he wasn't traded, I mean, yes, go for him. Definitely the guy to go for, but it's not it anymore. Dan Houston, 430k, going up against GWS. He's got a 23 break even, which is insane. And he scored really well against the Giants in the past. 94, 132. It pains me to say I don't think I'm bringing him in. I know my backline's going to be a bit weaker now. But geez, it's tough because I'm bringing a different primo. Yeah, look, this is tough. I'm not bringing him in, but I completely understand why you guys are bringing him in. Like 430k is going to make. This is the cheapest he's going to be. Collingwood have constantly said that we want to play the ball through his hands. Not much more that you can ask for that. So very nice. If you want to go for Dan Houston, Tristan Cherry. Now, just remember, he's not going to have that 199 point game again. But if he scores a 128, you're still pretty happy. He does go up against Lockie Blackiston. So expect that to be barbecue chicken. Carlton, Brisbane, and Nankless Richmond. Nank is out from 4 to 6 weeks. Briggs, I mean, we should have known this. We should, like, for the people, including myself, we should have jumped on. We should have known that it should not affect Rucks this bad. Braden Cook, I think he's a fine guy to bring in. He's expected to make 49K. Scored a 92 and a 62. He's probably going to slow up when it comes to. Oh my God, why can't I scroll down? Okay. What am I trying to say? He's expected to make 49K. He's got Geelong. There's actually quite a few injuries that have happened at Adelaide. So it's not like he's losing his spot, but his role might get elevated and he might get the ball more often. Josh Worrell, teammate of his, might miss this week with injury. So if you wanted to go Worrell instead of Houston, I think you're just going to go Houston because he is out for the week. But do keep it in mind, he wouldn't be too bad to bring in next week. Lockie Ash had a really good game against St Kilda. I think it was a 130. Yeah, 130. Yeah, started off the first week pretty crap. Then he scored a 136 and a 130. Very nice there. He's only lost the $400. He does have Collingwood this week. He's got a pretty low break even. But then he goes and plays against Richmond. I'm going to recommend not going for him because he's got the bye next week. And like Dan Houston, for example, just had his bye and you can bring him in and don't have to worry about it for a long time. I saw someone mention that GWS have 2 more buys before Collingwood has their next one. So just remember that too. I think Houston's going to be better with points on the board for the next 12 weeks. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Jack Watkins. Now, I wasn't bringing him in originally, but I'm bringing him in this week. Very easy fix from going from Milan, Murdoch to Watkins. Had a better game against Essendon. He's got West Coast, then he's got Richmond. So hopefully he makes some good cash, and then we could either we downgrade him or someone else to Murdoch. Max Holmes came off his bye last week. If you saw last night's video, I am bringing him in. It's got Adelaide, Hawthorn, West Coast, Dogs, Port, North. That's a pretty nice run. Like it's Dogs, Hawks, Adelaide, bit tougher. Hawks, Adelaide Adelaide won't be as tough because I've got a few injuries like Dawson, Laird, Worrell. There's those main guys. Hawthorn don't really tag anymore. They might put attention to someone, but not tag. Put the full hard on tag. Pause. West Coast. I mean, they just don't tag. And same with Port and North are going to be easier. Dogs don't tag either. So I think this is a really nice run. He doesn't really get a proper tag until round 10 or 11, but it could go to Bailey Smith as well. So they've got that to put into mind. This, I don't want to sound too rude if you're bringing him in, but this might be one of the stupidest things to do, bringing in Shea Bolton. He's not doing a 142 every week. I know he's playing Richmond, and he can do that against Richmond, even though he's only played them once and scored an 89. But come on. Like, don't do this. You know you're just going to trade him out because you're going to have a crap week in the next 3 weeks. He's going to score a 68 again. Like, it's not worth it. Like, he's too inconsistent for my liking, but whatever floats your boat. Nick Dacos. So if you don't have Nick Dacos, try and bring him in. Just be wary that Toby Bedford might be back this week, and we'll see how Bedford goes because the game has changed and they want to put more speed on the ball to complement the way the game's played. So maybe they don't tag Dacos, but if they do, you could expect this 66 points from last year. So that is the most traded in and out, and my thoughts there. We can have a look at injuries. What I'll do is I'll just do the teams that played and didn't have the bye. So you. Who was it? Sydney that had the bye last round? No, it was Brisbane, Carlton, Collingwood, Geelong. That's right. Sorry. Um, Let me get up on my phone and we go game by game. If any, because it says on the SuperCoach, SuperCoach, the AFL app, if it says that they were out of the game. Yeah, so Dawson got injured, which isn't great. We could probably change this to where's injury report. Yeah, so Dawson's out. Laird is out. Archie is out. There's 8 hamstring injuries. Uh, Isaac Heaney might come back this week. Who else? I mean, not that people are going for either, what's his face? Not going for either Nankervis or Tom Lynch, but both of them did their hamstrings, and obviously Petrarca as well did his hamstring as well. Giants, Saints. I don't think there was any injuries in this game. Oh, Anthony Caminiti was out. Oh, interesting. He didn't even. How long did he play? 6% time on ground. He probably played for like 5 minutes. Frio, Melbourne. Disco Turner. Seems like another one. What Adelaide, Essendon. Oh, well, obviously Rosie. Miles Bergman looked like Redmond and Sharp as well. Yikes. And we know about Milan Murdoch and with the Eagles there. Liam Baker was injured. Griffin Logan, Harry Edwards were out as well. So quite a few injuries there from that point. Definitely will affect some trade-ins, especially the Milan Murdoch one. If Murdoch is playing this week, which I don't think he will, I will swap him in for Watkins. Watkins, you can. I think if you don't have either Murdoch or Watkins, I think you can skip out on Murdoch. Like I saw another comment in one of the live streams, and it was, you can't go for every single rookie that comes up. Like there is guys that you are going to miss. There's guys I've already missed. Who's made money already? It does it, and it's not on my team. I don't know, but a good example is like Cooper Duck Titler. Like I'm not bringing him in. I don't think many people are bringing him in / had him originally, but he's expected to make 33K going up against Port. He had he had a score of 100 against North. Yeah, so there's guys that just wouldn't worry too much about missing out on them. It's more these top heavy guys. I mean, Dylan Stevens is a guy that would be cool to bring in because 50K is a really good amount for 320. He did score a 70 against West Coast, but does have Essendon this week. And then he'll slow up and only make like 70K for you, so maybe not even that worth it. But yeah, like I said, you don't want to miss on these top guys. Like I know everyone's kind of got Rob, Smith, McAndrew, Blue Myers, Marshall. Most have Bruin. Most have Murdoch or bring them in. Wait a week. Same with Cook and Watkins. Dersma's just two last minute to bring in. He has had solid weeks. Don't get me wrong about that. So if you had him already, congrats to you. You did well. It doesn't matter about the 200K rook. But yeah, look, you could be saving about 100K and be gaining 87 instead of 46, an extra 40K, saving 140,000 potentially. But anyways, yeah, even Dan Houston's at 43 down there. But like I said, we've done pretty well with our rooks. I don't think that we want to get rid of many. Or we've done the right thing. So don't sacrifice too much of your money going to those guys. Who's next? We'll look at break evens. How about that? Speaking of that. So obviously Murdoch with a minus 145. I mean, I don't need to talk from Robertson to Cook because everyone's bringing him in or / has them. Jake Rogers is interesting, has a minus 62, scored an 83 and a set. Oh no, he averaged 83. What's that? That's 96. So he scored 96 the first round. What am I trying to say? He's another guy you're probably not bringing in. Maybe next week if there's not much to go for. 46 and 11. I mean, he's not scoring 45. He scored a 96 and a 70 against West Coast and Richmond, and plays Melbourne next. Ned Reeves is interesting. He could be on the bubble, I reckon. The only thing is his time on ground. So his points per minute here is 1.4 per minute, which is really good. And only played 47% or something like that. Time on ground. So it'll be interesting to see how Sam Mitchell looks at it going, well, maybe does Ned Reeves make more of a ruck impact than Lloyd Meek? I've heard a few guys or a few people or like a few analysts saying that they don't really use Lloyd Meek that well. They go up against Geelong, which is going to be a good matchup for them. Then does go up against English, so he'll be an interesting watch, in my opinion, because he'll be making some decent cash, projected 51K in round 4, and that's if he scores a 65 and can definitely score more if he wanted to. Zach Ostelski, hopefully he keeps a spot for this week. Willem Dersma, he's another guy that would be pretty cool to have on your team at the moment. Logan McDonald, he was a guy that I was a bit surprised, but, 52, 101, 89, 1.2% of people got him in. Congrats to you guys. He made the right decision. Very cheap, just over 200K. He's got the Eagles this week. Don't know, he could do something pretty insane. Bo Allen, he's kind of gone under the radar too. 71 at 58. Could be better. There's other guys you could go for. He's projected to make 39K. Quite a few people still down here. Phoenix Gothard. Look at that. Sneakily scoring an 84 and not many people really finding out about it. So congrats to the 3.4% that have gone with him. Hopefully he continues to make good money for you guys. Chris Scarry, he could be an option for next week if Murdoch comes back this week, we got to think of Scary as well for the week after. Scored a 73 against Melbourne. He's going up against Richmond. He'll make some good cash, I reckon. He'll make some very, very good cash, and hopefully we bring him in. He's a mid-forward DPP as well, which is really nice. Gothard, like we just talked about. Sharp as well, bit under the radar. Cooper Duff title with the minus 30 and 28 there. Lafau's got a minus 14. Lukosius minus 15. That's interesting as well. Oh, you got Reville and Butts with minus 10. Comben, minus 7. Rowan Steele, minus 5. You still have Gibcus there. So, yeah, look, quite a few guys you can go for. With these minus break evens, which is really, really nice. And now we get to this point where they're just DMPs. So those are the good break evens. Let's have a look. I don't think many people look at this, but let's look at the high ones. So Hugh McCluggage with a break even of 240. He won't lose anything, but if he does go 101, he'll have a break even of 258 and will lose 75,000. Holy dooly. How good would that be? And even if he loses 14K, he goes up against Collingwood. Then you go for North. Then you pick him up when he plays North, and then he plays Melbourne. He plays a bit of a weaker Adelaide side, even though they'll probably get their players back. And Essendon. What a nice run for Brisbane there. Definitely will be a target for me in round 5. You've got to look for those fallen premiums. Rowan Marshall, yeah. When we talk about fallen premiums, this guy is someone we don't want to go for. So steer clear from him. Andy Brayshaw, it's a bit annoying that he's got a 186 break even. To be fair, he did score well, 122. He's got Richmond. I think he'll score more than a 99. So I don't think he'll lose as much, but still a guy to look out for potentially next week. Just mind you, his break even will be a bit higher because he played Melbourne last week. Playing Richmond this week will be a high score. Hopper, I don't think anyone's really thinking of bringing this guy in. The game's gone past him in the sense that people are actually literally going past him. Bailey Smith is another guy that I want to look for as well. I mean, he's projected to score 127. What did he score last time? 126 and 121 against Adelaide. So He's had a good track record. They do play well. Adelaide's got a weaker side. Bailey Smith could be an option in a week or two's time. Fiorini with a 182. Very interesting. Could we potentially get him to be a DPP forward? I think he plays a little forward, but yeah. Wow, Zach Reid, 175, the SuperCoach king from last year. Jack McRae with a 181, but didn't play. Josh Dunkley with a 169. That's quite a bit there. Rory Laird with a 169 as well. George Hewitt, Ed Richards. Those are guys that are going to potentially lose money. If you've got Richards, it's a little unfortunate, but look at 109 and 92. You're kind of still taking at the moment, I guess. Oh, Lockie Whitfield, he's going down in price as well. He'll be so juicy when it comes to his when we bring him in round 5, because he'll go down quite a bit in price, minus 27k. We can get him for about 530k. Goes up against Richmond. He might have the James Jordan tag, North, Gold Coast, Essendon, West Coast. Oh, that run for GWS is so nice. Holy dooly. Jordan Dawson as well. So many guys that have been falling off. Might wait a week because of his injury. So just put that to perspective as well. Brody Grundy's got a 153 after scoring 135. Yeah, he did score an 89. Yeah. We'll move on. Darcy Cameron, 154. Interesting. I didn't really notice that. God. I mean, I didn't watch this Freo game. No, I did actually. And I did watch the Gold Coast game. I feel like he's had zero impact in the game. And they need to put him down. Not put him down. Jesus. Put him down to the twos. Will Ashcroft with a 152 and Bailey Dale with a 153. I mean, you're probably not looking at Bailey Dale and thinking, oh, let's bring him in. He's already lost 55k. Maybe when he gets fully back, he'll potentially be better. But geez, he could lose even more money. He might go down to 460 or low 400s. And you're probably looking at going, that's pretty good value. Will Ashcroft, 152. Butters with a 148. You're not getting rid of him. I mean, maybe you try and bring him in, but yeah. Geez, Liam Baker, break even 140. 54 and they beat North. He must have been so crap. This is nice to see. Isaac Rankin, midfielder forward, potentially will lose some money. Plays against Geelong for a tough defense. So could we see an Isaac Rankin go down pretty quick and we pick him up? That'd be very nice. Anyone else around this 129? Not really. Cosy Pickett could go down in price. Wouldn't be too bad. I mean, he hasn't had great games against St Kilda and Freo. Nando, 122, could go down in cash. Jeez, Colin McKercher with a 121. And I think that should be it. I think that's enough. So there's quite a few primos that are potentially going to fall. Hugh McCluggage, Lockie Whitfield, they're going to be some really juicy guys to go for. Isaac Heaney as well. Don't want to sound weird, but you lick your lips when you see these prices potentially going down. You can pick them up soon. All right, so that's break evens. Let's have a look at who I've traded in and out, who I'm looking at. So this is what I've done. If you didn't see last night, I've traded Petrarca, Sharp, and Rosie. And I've gone with Cherry, Watkins, and Holmes. Look, it's between Cherry and Jackson. I'll still make that decision. Well, I'll think about it for a while, see what I want to do with that. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I think Holmes is okay. You could go the Dan Houston route, but don't know. I kind of like the idea of Holmes. He's got the last buy round, I'm pretty sure. Is it round 17? It's round 16, isn't it? Yeah, last buy round 16. Let me go round 3. Yeah, so it'll be interesting how this team goes. I've got a projected score of 1768. Well, it's now 1793. So those are the guys that I'm looking at the moment. Um, yeah, do I want to play? I think I'll play Watkins over Cook there, and we'll swap you. I think that's what I want to do. Um, what am I trying to say? So I think this is important for this week because I was looking around at some of my like head-to-head matchups, and like I was looking at how like what teams are on the bye. It's a bit unfortunate that Petrarca's injured because people are going to get rid of him now, but Sydney and Western Bulldogs are some big teams that play, especially the Dogs. Big players are going to be out. Bont, Isaac Heaney, if people still have him. Uh, Ed Richards, like all these guys. Tim English. I mean, I've got Tim English. So that's why I've kind of gone with the Cherry route with a Primo Ruck, which would be nice because I think I need a heavy score to come in. But I think this is the round where I need to lock in. Only because I'm a fair bit behind. I'm ranked around in the 60,000s. If I can halve that this week, I'll be very happy. And I think I'm not confident that I can, but knowing that I don't have many guys on the buy, look, it's annoying that I can't move Butterick to someone else, but it's best 18. I'm confident. I think I can do okay. Fonty might score a bit more. Blackiston as well. Grill will definitely score more. Watkins will score more. I think Walsh will score more. Same with Brayshaw. Like, there's a lot of guys here. Um, Flanders as well. Oh, for God's sakes. I hate... This is weird, yeah. I get weirded out when I see She's on the midfield, but I think we need to do that anyways, don't we? Um, we'll just keep it like that for now. But look, this is the round for me to really lock in and go, well, I need to do well. So that's why I kind of brought in the two primos and Cherry and Holmes. And I'm okay with that, I'll be honest. I probably won't get rid of them for the rest of the season. I think it's at round 12 where North have the bye. That's the only thing that's a bit difficult because there's quite a few players that I like that have that bye around that time. But my point is that I'll just rehash what I'm saying. What I've been trying to say is that a lot of teams are going to have those big guys out. Like I know I've got Tim English out, but that's basically it, and Butterick as well, if you want to count him. But all I've got is Tim English. Some people might have Bont as well. That's a good 160 behind. Obviously, a rookie might score around a 60 or 70. That's a good 130. So if I can gain that extra 70 points in, I kind of need that at the moment to potentially really compete. So that's my reasons with that, with my trades. So last thing we'll talk about is captains. So we look at the matchups here. Geelong, Adelaide. Could we pop the C on McAndrew? That'd be funny. Probably not many people that I'm looking at. Maybe Max Holmes could be a pod play for vice captaincy, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I like some other matchups better. Collingwood, GWS. You're probably not going with Dacos or Houston or same with GWS. Not really going for Callahan. So Kilda, Brisbane. Nothing I love there as well. Freo, Richmond. You can definitely pop it on Andy Brayshaw. Oh, excuse me. I did check this morning. There's a post saying that there's weather warnings out in Perth or WA because I don't know if it's a cyclone or if it's like super strong winds. I don't know, but I think it said cyclone. It was cyclone started with an N like Narelle or something like that. I love how they pick their names for cyclones. Anyways, potentially a cyclone could affect the game potentially, but it's going to be a really wet game as far as I'm concerned. So I'm probably going to say no to Brayshaw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the VC on Cherry, see how he goes against Essendon and Blackiston. We'll do that, hey. And if it's below, if it's a 120 or below, we're going to go Butters on the C. And hopefully we can do some good magic there. So yeah, VC Cherry, C on Butters. There's not really anyone that's interesting out of those two. Like, those are the main ones that you're going for. Essendon are stuffed and West Coast don't tag. Bloody Butters is going to run amok against West Coast. But yeah, I think those are the only ones that you can think of as like a Sarong, Brayshaw, Butters, Cherry. You can go Sheasel, I reckon. I feel like Holmes is a bit of a pod play to go for. I mean, Sinclair with a projected 131 is not a bad idea as well. Sam Walsh as well. I don't know if they put Tholstrop onto Walsh, but that would be interesting to see. I don't think they do that, though. But yeah, I think that's it. That's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Covered quite a few topics today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. Who are you guys thinking of bringing in this week? Let me know your thoughts about anything for SuperCoach. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.